so we have another passport bro of the week, another villain of the week. I don't understand why. This is like I have three of them this weekend. I don't know why. All right, so he's asking a question that everybody has always asked, and I keep answering a million times. And he does like a different variation. He's asking why does not the government want sex tourism if there is prostitution? And please forgive me if this is a very touchy subject, but I have to touch on this because we have passport bros who are causing problems and havoc amongst Colombian society, and that's one of the reasons why they don't want sex tourism. Number one, okay, for you, sir, the problem is not prostitution itself. All right, let's start from the beginning. All right, prostitution is legal, not for your benefit as the man, as the one who goes there and tries to get services. All right, and prostitution is legal for the sake of the protection of the adult service worker. If you notice, I'm saying adult service worker, I'm not saying woman, because men also are part of it as well. Transgenders are as well. This is to provide them protections, okay, from abuse. If you do not pay them, you will go to jail. If you hurt them and belittle them, you will go to jail. If you change the price after your services are rendered, you will go to jail. If you decide not to pay after services are rendered, you will go to jail. I've had in my past videos where I showed a transgender person call the cops because she gave services to a man and the man did not want to give her. She's a male to female transgender, okay, woman, and the cops made him pay, or he's going to go to jail because that's how it is. They have the ability to go to get medical services without any type of stigmatization. They don't have to be worried about being bullied. They don't have to be worried about being mistreated and everything else. If you mistreat them, you will go to jail. That gives them protections. This is not for you. This is for their benefit. Men, women, and transgender, either male to female or female to male. So let's go back to your question. You're asking why does the government want to stop sexual tourism from foreigners if that is legal there? Number one, you have to understand something is very important. If the United States wanted, they can prosecute you. They can prosecute you for even going to Colombia to get adult services, even if it is with adult men. Because things that are legal in other countries doesn't mean it's legal in the United States. Minus the fact that you have prostitution in Nevada. So if you want to, you can go to Nevada. However, certain people, like the other passport bro before you, who was inquiring about trying to denigrate Colombia, saying that the marriage laws are 14, yada yada yada. If you go to Colombia and you have intercourse with someone who is much younger than the legal age in the United States, they will prosecute you. They have the ability to prosecute you and send you to jail, and they will extradite you because the United States is friends with Colombia. So now to finally answer your question, how come they don't want sexual tourism there? Because of the fact that you foreigners are misbehaving, having intercourse in balconies, deleting women, okay? And not deleting women who are adult services worker. You are, not you yourselves, but these foreigners are deleting women like Valentina Tres Palacios, the DJ. That was a very famous case. I think her name was Laura Lopera, the girl that was deleted by the Canadian guy who was 50 and she was like 19 or 20. Okay, these women were not people who were adult services worker. Abuse of little kids, abuse of disrespect in public, being debaucherous in public, like what's been happening in Cartagena, where more than 3 times you have people having intercourse on the public balcony when you have little kids walking by. And the area of Cartagena has a lot of churches. You have nuns and priests walking by. Don't you think that's very disrespectful? The people are complaining they cannot even take the children out at night because you have all these foreigners acting debaucherous on the streets with the women. Is it the women's fault for doing that? Yeah, but who's worse? The person who has the power to change the person, or the person who is desperate to get that in order to get something to eat? And it's starting to get to a point where people are getting fed up and people will take the streets. I'm not sure if you've been to Colombia or understand, but you have something called the community massage. It starts with another word, with another letter in the United States, but I don't want to use that word because that word has a very derogatory meaning behind it towards people of color, and I don't want to use that. But in Colombia, they call it the community massage or paloterapia, which means stick therapy. And I have seen it happen with adult North Americans and Europeans who have been disrespectful to people in public, because we don't want to see that they got stick therapy by the whole community. It was an ex-tourist who was hitting a local prostitute. And the people don't like that because maybe where you come from, you think it's okay to hit a woman. In Latin America, you don't touch a woman, especially if you're a foreigner. The government is taking steps to curb this because we don't want to see that. Having loud parties at night, like that particular one Russian American guy who was having all these loud X parties with transgender women. And I'm not saying that transgender women are wrong, but he's having all these loud parties in a residential area where people got to go to work tomorrow, their children have to go to school, and people got to go to church. They do not want to see that. And you say, well, but it's legal. See, the thing is that before the foreigners started coming to Colombia, it was relegated to tolerance zones called red zones. And these were far away from the regular population. All right. They were far away from schools. They were far away from kids. They were far away from clubs. They were far away from dance schools. They were in a position where people did not have to see that, because if you're going to do adult things, you do that in private. And because of the fact that you guys have been absolutely disrespectful, misbehaving to the point where sometimes even being violent with our people, and we have a right to defend our people against foreigners, just like in the United States, they have something called America First, and they're kicking out all these illegal immigrants according to them, right? We have the ability, and as a sovereign nation, to get rid of people. So don't be mad at deporting people who are misbehaving. So to answer your question, no, the problem is not prostitution itself. The problem is the people who are coming in. We're having bad actors. So instead of having these bad actors come in, they want to get rid of that, cut that source away from the foreigners who wants to come and get that, and bring in a different type of tourist. This person is telling me that one of the benefits of having ex-tourism still legal and accessible to foreigners is that they can set up sting operations to send them out. No, that is a waste of time and money. Colombia is in a state of a civil war. I'm not sure if you know this. How many times have I stated it? I have given many different militia groups from the left side and different militia groups from the right side, and they're all at war with each other and at war with the government. It's a three-way civil war for the last 60 years. More than that. How many millions of people have been displaced because of the Colombian Civil War? And you think we want to add the passport bro into that? Harassing people, being disrespectful to local culture, to local festivities, to local religious festivities, at the same time, some of them going and touching little kids, and doing things are immoral and illegal in any country, no matter where you're in. So don't sit here and get mad at us. Don't sit here and get mad at us when we're saying no more. And then you're throwing a tantrum like a little kid, and your ism is showing, because I keep on telling people, passport bros are the new colonialists. The Euro colonialists showed their ism when they did not get the things that they wanted. Just like you and the other guys that I have been speaking to, one of which I already made a video. And what happens and you know what he did? Do you know what he did? He did the exact same thing you're doing. He started saying that we're a nation of immoral people, and our marriage laws and prostitution and everything else. You guys want to have the moral high ground when you are doing 10 times as worse than what we are doing. Because when you cannot get the woman, now go to war with us. Now you want to go to war with the government. Now you want to tell us that we're evil and mischievous and perverts and everything else. If our country is such a dirty society to you, why do you fight so hard to go there? And this is when your ism comes out, because that's what you really think of us. And when I'm saying you people, I'm talking about the passport bro people who go there for sexual tourism, not regular tourists, all right? Not the people who are married. We are nothing but fetishes to you. We're nothing but ex-toys to you. We are nothing for your entertainment. You do not like our language. You do not like our culture. You do not like our food. You do not like our music. You do not like our traditions. For you, we are nothing but ex-toys, and that is the issue. And my people are recognizing this. My people are recognizing this when you don't want to respect at least the local authorities, when you don't want to respect the local religious authorities. Okay, when we have a Holy Week, Semana Santa, when it came by, you guys were complaining the Parque Llenos was closed down, and you say you have the gall telling me how come we don't want ex-tourism? Because money is not worth our dignity. You understand this? Money is not worth our dignity. Maybe for some people who are desperate, but not all of us. Okay? So this person, when his ism came up, because he's pretty much the image of the colonialist teacher or the owner who taught him how to behave that way. He says that Colombia has more ex-workers per capita. I did the research. As you can see behind me, I did the research. The United States has between 1 to 2 million prostitutes. Okay, that is more than the entire population in the city of Cartagena, which is one of the bigger cities. That is more than the entire population of Barranquilla. That is more than the entire population of Mocoa. That is more than the entire population of Palmira. That is more than the entire population of Cerrito. That is more than the entire population of Buenaventura. That is more than the entire population of Villavicencio. That is more than the entire population of Leticia. That is more than the population of Villa de Leyva. That is more than the entire population of Bariloche. No, Bariloche is Argentina, then Barichara. That is way more than some of the cities in Colombia, except the big three. In comparison, when I did research, you had two types of research. At the smallest research, they said that Colombia had about 7,000, okay, 7,000 adult services workers, okay, at the very least. And guess what? Many of them are Venezuelan because, you know, the country's having problems and many of them coming to Colombia. And then another studies, which has a higher number, more liberal one, more loose end, is about at least 250,000. How can you compare at least 7,000 to 1 million or to 2 million of yours? Okay. And then when I did even further research just before I came on here, because I cover, make sure that I understand what I'm saying. Okay. You have literally, I think 14 billion. Your country makes about 14 billion in the underground X trade. Okay. Because you have prostitution also, minus the fact that you have it in Las Vegas, where it is legal. Okay. It literally said that is more than the NBA, NFL. Okay. More than the NBA and the NFL combined. I guarantee you that the X trade is not as much in Colombia. It is not as much in Colombia. In fact, I was doing research. A woman in the United States can actually do $200 to $400 a day. Okay, in Colombia, a woman could do between $70 US dollars to $200 a week. So don't tell me that it has way more per capita, because I have done the research. People, this is what I want you to see. This is the hidden ism behind these colonialist, these wannabe colonialist masters. Passport bros are the new colonialists. They're here to ravage our country, take away our resources, take away everything else. Because once again, we are nothing but toys to them. They do not care about our cultures, our language, and our different ethnicities. I can guarantee you that this person doesn't understand that Colombia is the land of the 1,000 rhythms, literally 1,009 different types of music. He cannot name any of them without actually opening up Google. I can guarantee you that he doesn't understand the different types of dialects. A Colombian has a unique ability. We have a radar in our ears, okay, in our mind, that we hear another Colombian speaking, we automatically know from which region they're in. Not the exact city. If I go to the northern coast, everybody's telling me, I can tell you from the interior. Some people think I'm a paisa, but I'm not a paisa. Okay, I can hear people and I say, "You're from the south, aren't you? You're from the Amazon, aren't you? You're from the flatlands, aren't you? You're a Janero. You're from the Savannah flatlands. I can tell by your accent. Okay, you're from the Pacific coast. You're from the Caribbean coast. I can hear it in your tone of voice. You cannot hide it." And we have our mannerisms and our dialects and everything else. Do you think this person understands the difference between an opita, which I'm going to show you? This is an opita, and a raizal. This is a raizal. Because yes, my friends, we do have black people. I can guarantee you that this person doesn't even know that Colombia has black people. The third highest population in the Western Hemisphere, outside of Brazil and outside of the United States. Do you think that this person who is fighting me tooth and nail, and they don't only do it to Colombians, they do it to Brazilians, they do it to Thai people. I have seen it. When the whole situation happened in Brazil, where that one guy got caught with a little kid, Mr. Floyd Wallace, right? I saw it in the comment section when Brazilians were speaking up. The exact same thing that this person is telling me, he's telling them that Brazil is the worst culture to ever existed. That they are podridos, that they are rotten to the core, that they're over sexualized, that they sell their children. The worst things imaginable that this person is telling me. They have told everybody else, because this is the way. They do not accept their own faults. They do not accept their own sins. They do not accept they want to deflect. They want to deflect from the fact that they are the problem, because the common denominator in every single situation that you've been seeing so far, with the scopolamines, with the deletion of women, with people disappearing, it always has to do with a man searching for sex. A foreigner. Why? Why can't you go visit to the Llanos, the flatlands? How many native tribes have I showed? I have named at least 5 different tribes I can still remember. Wayu, the Wiwa. The Wiwa are an offshoot of the Arhuaco. Okay, the one, my friend in the south were Inga. Inga are an offshoot of the Inca Empire, because the Inca Empire stretched all the way from the southern part of Colombia to all the way down to Chile. Okay, and you have different tribes and sub tribes, and my friends belong to those sub tribes, and I have friends who are Wayu from both the Colombian side and the Venezuelan side, because when the European powers came, Mr. European colonizer with the blue eyes and the blonde hair, they put on an imaginary line through a nation that was already existed there, and the Wayu got split from the Wayu on the Colombian side and on the Venezuelan side. Do you think that this person even know who the Wayu are? Does he even understand that the Wayu are linked genetically and linguistically to the Taino Puerto Ricans of Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and Cuba, and all of the Antilles? Does he know that? Because I have spoken to people from Puerto Rico. I have spoken to linguist specialists who recreated the Taino language. I have spoken to archaeologists in the island of Puerto Rico. I have spoken to professors in the University of Puerto Rico who spent their lives researching, and they say, hey, 80% of the Wayu dialect is related to the Taino dialect. And I thought that was absolutely amazing. Do you think that this person here, who only argues about what is going on between his legs, that he feels that he has the right to come down and to put whatever's between in his legs in our women in our southern continent, as if it's his very right, born birthright, that we must bow to him, that we must bow and give up everything for him, because he is the descendant of the colonizer, regardless of color? Do you think that he understands all these type of things? No, he does not. So this particular section here, he goes on to say, well, how does it feel that your country's not doing its best to stop sexual tourism? Wait a minute. You mean to tell me when Casey Redbeard was stopped at the airport and he was put on blast on every single Colombian news channel that he is being deported, and they gave a report on him and they did entire documentaries on him, that they don't want him? And even the Brazilians, my Brazilian friend right here, is saying that he told it himself because he likes to date younger girls and they don't like him in Brazil. Mr. Chill Capo right here. How many times have I said that so-and-so, this Italian guy, this guy from the United States has been touching little kids, they got arrested? How many times? How many videos? How many times have I said it? And then you got these group of passport bros, the group of knuckleheads, the 4 passport bros of the apocalypse, of the dating apocalypse, who are trying to come at me for whatever reason. And one guy's telling me, well, I'm married to a Dominican, when I'm not even a Dominican. I'm not even a Dominican. And you got these knuckleheads coming at me left and right from which side they're on. It's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating that you people think that you have the ability to come and take our women as if they were your toys, as if it's your ownership, as if they were part of you. What the hell is wrong with you people? I don't understand. I severely don't understand this level of thinking. What yours is mine, what's mine is mine. No, homeboy, you're not God. You're not the king of the universe. No one's going to bend down to you. No one's going to bend down to you in another country. Me being in Colombia, I'm not going to bend my knee to you. I will not. It's not going to happen. So what the hell is wrong with you? I'm sorry, with all due respect, because it's talking to a bunch of knuckleheads who the only thing about is what's between their legs and getting laid. We're in the middle of a civil war. You have the dissidents of the FARC in the south, and also the ELN, which is what's called the National Liberation Army. They're bombing the country. They're bombing each other. And then on the north, and then you have the paramilitary troops who were created to fight them. They broke off and created their own personal militia groups, and they're fighting against each other also. And they're fighting against the Colombian guerrillas, and they're fighting against the government. And on top of that, on top of all this nonsense, on top of all these bombings and everything else, after these decades of civil war, of millions of people having to flee, to change, to go to different provinces, to different towns, to learn a new language, a new dialect, because not everybody in Colombia speaks Spanish. And you telling me that after all of this nonsense, you passport bros feel that you got the right to do whatever you want in Colombia, and you want to sit here and complain like a Karen? I don't understand. Why don't you go do it in Afghanistan? I dare you to go do it in Afghanistan. I don't understand. I really don't understand.